Today we'll be reacting to a girls trip. Um, yeah, I just find it so interesting that girls they can leave so cool, and then by the time they get to their trip, or they're at odds. By the end of it, they're not friends anymore. And they'll never want to speak to each other again. It makes you wonder where the stark energy comes from. But with no further ado, we're gonna get right into it after I play the intro video. So we're right into it. Signs that a woman is gaslighting you.
Think something's wrong with you because there's nothing wrong with you. You can only look like yourself and you look perfectly fine. I think that a lot of girls get there with little to no money, thinking that they can rely on their looks, and then they get the shock of their lives. So I'm gonna tell you my Miami story and how this trip ended an 8-year friendship. So back in 2014, me and my friend decided to go to Miami for Memorial Day. Now I moved to Canada 2013, and she had called me around December 2013 saying that her car had gotten towed. She lives in New York. She had parked it on the street, and when it snows in New York, if you don't move your car, when the plow comes to move the snow, they'll tow your car. Now she had like $2,000 in outstanding parking tickets on the car. So when they towed it, they kept it. And they told her she couldn't get it until she paid it off. So she called me crying, crying, crying. By this time, I haven't even gotten my first paycheck yet. Like I moved.
Alright, so that's already the first red flag. You went on a trip with someone that was struggling just with the regular life. I'm a firm believer that when you travel, your problems don't really go away. They just occur quicker and more frequently, and they're normally twice as large as they would have been back home. So keep that in mind if someone is telling you, like, hey, can you borrow me some money to do this? Can you borrow me some money to do that? As soon as you get out of town, it's going to get worse. I guarantee it. Every time it's going to get worse. I'm speaking from experience.
November 30th. It's like December 15th. So I gave her what was in my savings, which was $700. Now the new year comes and she's telling me she's gonna pay me back, pay me back. But as we get closer to Miami, Memorial Day, May, I told her straight up, like, listen, I can't go unless you pay me back. Like that $700 is like my travel spending, all that kind of money. It's not something I could just throw away. And at the time, the Canadian dollar to the US dollar, that $700 was like 1,000 Canadian. So she's like, all right, girl, I'm gonna pay you back when we get to Miami. So I paid for everything, thinking that when I get to Miami, she's gonna give me my $700 back. Because she is irresponsible, she missed her flight. The hotel is on her credit card. So when I arrived before her, I couldn't check in. So they had to move the room to my card so that I could check in first. She arrives, gives me $500, and yeah, we start the weekend. We go to Forever 21 that was up on Lincoln, and she's blowing a bag. I'm looking at her because you still owe me $200. So I'm like, yeah, when am I gonna get the rest of my money, please? She gives it to me like I'm begging her for my money back. I start to notice throughout the weekend that she's not eating anything, like nothing. Like she'll be
Isn't that the worst? When you're out with one of your friends and they owe you some money and they're just spending it right in front of you. You're like, bro, you just asked me for $20 and now you want to know. And you go outside. And on top of that, she gave her money from her savings. If you can't afford to give somebody money, then you really should think, like, hey, maybe I can't afford to pay them. Because that's basically what you're doing. Like, anytime you give somebody some money, you run the risk of them never paying you back. That's family, friends, or anybody for the most part. And money will ruin friendship quick.
like, oh, I'm not hungry, and then try to eat my fries. I'm like, listen, I only brought enough money for me to eat. So yeah, no. We're on Ocean and I'm eating. She's trying to eat off me, and I tell her straight up, like, listen, if you're hungry, buy something. But come to find out, I don't think she has any money. Stay tuned for part two. I could tell her money was a little funny because earlier that morning when we was getting ready in the hotel room, we stayed at Clevelander. her neighbor had called her from New York and was like, yo, the sheriff is at your door putting an eviction notice up. So I don't want to eavesdrop. So I come out the bathroom and I'm just like, hey, hon, is everything okay? Now, we're both Leos, so there's a bit of ego there. She's like, everything is fine. Everything is good. She got an attitude. So I was like, I'm not going to press the issue. So we're on an ocean with, I'm eating, and she's trying to pick off my plate, and she sees a group of guys walk by. And she hails them, and the boy is like, oh, come with us. Our hotel has a beach behind it. They're staying at SLS. So we walk down to SLS, and at the beach they brought like a cooler of drinks. Mind you, she's on an empty stomach. She is downing these drinks like with nothing in her stomach for the last damn near 2 days. She's throwing it back. I knew she was drunk.
See, that's what I like to call efficient. It's kind of like shrooms. Yes, you can eat before you do them, but if you do them on an empty stomach, boy, your ass gonna be to the moon.
When she told me she had to go to the bathroom, and she walks into the ocean only up to her knees, everything exposed, and starts peeing. I had to run up to her in the ocean with a towel to like stand in front of her and cover her. So she's falling down drunk, and one of the guys is like, oh, are you hungry? You want anything? She's like, yeah, we're staying at Cleveland. He's like, you know what? I'm going to put some money on your room so that you can get whatever you like. We get in the car. She's falling down drunk. Like, we're holding her up. She cannot stand. Pull up to Cleveland, and I'm trying to help her out of the car. And the guy is like, yo, we're going to a white party if you want to come, but it's in Fort Lauderdale. Now, she had valeted her car. So she was like, oh, yeah, we'll meet you there. We're all looking at her like, you're in no position to drive. I'm like, well, can one of you guys stay? I can't drive. So I'm like, can one of you guys stay and drive us? Don't let them take my car. She's yelling at me in the street at the corner of Clevelander. And I'm like, you know what? She's drunk. I'm not going to argue with her. I'm just going to let her sober up. So the boy helps me walk her to the lobby of Clevelander. Now, in the lobby of Clevelander, there is a restaurant. If you know, in Miami, Clevelander has like all of those seats outside at the corner of the ocean. I go to the front desk and I'm like, hey, can I order a pitcher of water and some chicken wings and fries to the room? She's going to need it. She leaves me in the lobby and goes upstairs. I come upstairs. She's sitting on the bed naked with her wig off, right? 10 minutes later, there's a knock on the door. It's the water and the wings. She was like, whose fucking food is this? She starts going off. I'm looking at her like, this is for you. So you want to use my money to eat? You know that nigga gave me the money to put on the room, and now you want to use it? Mind you, this meal is $14. And I'm looking at her like, she's screaming with the door open, naked, with no wig on. And the waiter's just standing there like, stay tuned for part 3.
So see, really, that's where the issue really stems from. She went out there with no money. She didn't have any real control over the situation. So, like, everything that she could control, A, the car that she had, and B, the money that those guys decided to put on their room, really tried to control both of those things. Like, I think this girl, she was fine with starving, picking her way off plates, and probably picking up 15 drinks. That's what I would have told her to do. That's what I would have told one of the guys to do. Don't ask me for nothing. You better go steal somebody's drink. I've done that before. That's how you know when you're at a real low point, when you're out here, people leaving drinks unattended, and that's the only thing you drink. You ain't bought one drink since you've been in the bar. You're just stealing people's unattended drinks. It's kind of crazy because they never really noticed. Thank God I didn't get roofed.
I dive past her to get the door closed so that, she not out here flashing the whole floor. And I take the water from him, I take the wings from him, and I set it down on her bed. And she's still yelling, like still ranting and raving about how I wouldn't let her eat my food, and now I think I'm going to eat the food of this man that got it for her. Mind you, the boy only put $50 on the room. So she's so loud that the neighbor knocks on the door. I start to laugh. Like this whole thing has been ridiculous to me. She's like, oh, you want to laugh? All right, good. Watch what I do. She goes into the bathroom, puts on a bathrobe, slaps a wig on her head with no shoes on, walks out. I start to change. Like, clearly we're not going to this white party. Like, she's not going to sober up. She's acting crazy. Less than 5 minutes later, I hear banging on the door, and it's 2 security guards. I think that she must have fell in the lobby. Like, that's the kind of friend I am. That even after all of this madness, I'm concerned about her well-being. I'm like, the second I open the door and see this.
Come on, man. We all been there. We all been there. I know we have. But we just been so inebriated that we end up home. We notice our friends are gone or they're about to go to the next function. We're like, nah, y'all not about to leave us. You run to the bathroom real quick. You throw up. You put on your game face. Switch some Listerine and you go about your business. This is the issue. Like they came with two. It almost sounds like they came with two separate objectives in mind. One came with the objective of the party at any cost, at anybody else's behalf. The other came to have a good time without any real strings attached. I don't know how they do it in Canada, but I know in the United States, you have to be prepared to reciprocate. Alright, y'all. I'll catch y'all next time. I'll break it into chunks since it's a long video.
Security. I'm like, is she okay?